Welcome to the Holiness Today podcast. Enjoy a word from T.A. Noble on publishing and mission. This recording was produced for the November-December 2024 Holiness Today issue, A Time to Remember.
Publishing has close connection with mission. You will remember, I'm sure, that hymn in the Missions and Evangelism section of our Nazarene hymnal that began, O Zion haste, now we sing, O Christians haste, thy mission high fulfilling, to tell to all the world that God is light, that he who made all nations is not willing one soul should perish, lost in shades of night. Publish glad tidings, tidings of peace, tidings of Jesus, redemption and release. That word publish has many synonyms: broadcast, proclaim, publicize, declare, announce, herald, communicate. And that, of course, is the mission of the church, to proclaim the gospel of Christ, to publicize tidings of Jesus, redemption and release. And the old name for this magazine, the Herald of Holiness, reflected that. And in this issue, as we look back, we thank God for the apostolic succession of editors: B.F. Haynes, J.B. Chapman, W.T. Purkiser, W.E. McCumber, Wes Tracy, and so many more.
We'll be right back with the rest of this episode. But did you know you can receive credit for listening to Holiness Today podcast? Holiness Today podcast episodes qualify for lifelong learning with the Church of the Nazarene. To register for lifelong learning, simply go to learning.nazarene.org. The Lifelong Learning Registry provides Nazarene ministers the opportunity to record and report their efforts to develop and maintain a pattern of lifelong learning to enhance the ministry to which God has called them. Every Nazarene minister is encouraged to engage in a variety of lifelong learning activities. The code for Holiness Today podcast is 64627 and will also be listed in the show notes. This code can be utilized for this episode and any previous episode you wish to listen to. Thank you for being a listener and sharing in the ministry of the Church of the Nazarene. Now back to the rest of your episode.
Publishing books and magazines has always been an important part of our Wesleyan tradition. It's a key part of the ministry of the Word. John Wesley himself published around 370 books and booklets during his 70 years of ministry, including his Christian library, in which he published excerpts from Puritans and ancient fathers and so much more. It's fitting that our Nazarene Publishing House then is now known as the Foundry Publishing. That commemorates the old foundry in London, built to create armaments, but which Wesley took over in 1739 and converted into a large chapel seating 1,500 people. That was his headquarters until he built what we now call Wesley's Chapel in 1778. Our Nazarene Publishing House was established in Troost Avenue, Kansas City in 1912. I can remember visiting its immaculately clean printing presses. Now, with huge technological change in printing and publishing, it's no longer economic to produce books and magazines in that way. But the task of publishing goes on. It's an integral part of the mission of the church. With ever advancing technology, we may read more on the screen than on the page, but Paul's instruction to Timothy is still relevant and always will be: give attention to reading. As Wesley saw the spread of the gospel in Britain, in Ireland, and America in his day, so we see it around the world today. Charles Wesley celebrated the spread of the gospel. See how great a flame aspires, kindled by a spark of grace, Jesus' love the nations fires, sets the kingdoms on a blaze. To bring fire on earth he came, kindled in some hearts it is. Oh, that all may catch the flame, all partake the glorious bliss. When he first the work begun, small and feeble was his day. Now the word doth swiftly run, now it wins its widening way. More and more it spreads and grows, ever mighty to prevail. Sin's strongholds it now o'erthrows, shakes the trembling gates of hell. May the Lord continue to bless the ministry of publishing, an integral part of our mission. Publish glad tidings, tidings of peace, tidings of Jesus, redemption, and release.
Thank you for listening to the Holiness Today podcast. If you enjoyed this production and wish to hear more, visit holinesstoday.org/podcast or find us on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts.